7:03 on Wednesday, October 15th, 53 degrees, a beautiful red-tinged sunrise this morning, sunny and 70s later. Good morning, I'm John Aaron.
I'm Michelle Basch. Our top local story, a sentence of probation issued by a DC judge after an attack on a former DOGE employee. Two teens from Hyattsville pleaded guilty to an August attack on 19-year-old Edward Correstein near DuPont Circle. President Trump highlighted that attack as he started the law enforcement surge in D.C. Now, a source familiar with the case tells ABC News a 15-year-old boy was sentenced to 12 months probation and a 15-year-old girl was sentenced to 9 months probation. The boy pleaded guilty to charges including felony assault and robbery. The girl pleaded guilty to simple assault. Both were arrested shortly after Correstein was attacked.
A former FBI agent has been sentenced to 60 years in prison after being convicted of raping 3 women in small tattoo parlors that he ran. 41-year-old Eduardo Valdivia had been found guilty in July. Here's Montgomery County State's Attorney John McCarthy.
The state was asking for a severe penalty against the defendant, who I think everyone knows was an FBI agent. This was a premeditated crime. This was a crime that used maximum amounts of manipulation and deception.
Prosecutors said Valdivia raped the women after offering them free tattoos in exchange for modeling opportunities. He was previously acquitted of attempted murder for shooting an aggressive panhandler on a metro train back in 2020.
Now to Shutdown 2025 on WTOP. Another Senate vote on a measure to end the federal government shutdown fell short last night, and the outlook for reopening the government remains bleak. WTOP's Mitchell Miller with more today on the Hill.
On this vote, the ayes are 49 and the nays are 45.
The GOP short-term spending bill again failing to get the 60 votes needed. Senate Majority Leader John Thune remains frustrated.
Republicans aren't asking Democrats for anything. We're not asking them to support any new Republican policy.
Democrats, however, say the GOP has ignored calls for negotiations on health care issues. And Virginia Congressman Suhas Subramaniam says the administration's actions speak louder than words when it comes to treatment of federal workers.
This administration and the House Speaker said that they care about federal workers, and yet they continue to fire them and traumatize them and celebrate their rifts.
On Capitol Hill, Mitchell Miller, WTOP News.
Part of our area is struggling with federal grants drying up. WTOP's Kate Ryan reports.
There are a lot of people in Montgomery County who face economic uncertainty. Heather Bruskin leads the county's Office on Food Systems Resilience.
In our population of 1 million residents, about 35% of our households live below the self-sufficiency standard, meaning they don't have enough income to cover their basic costs of living, which includes putting food on the table for their families.
A lot of programs are paid for with the help of federal grants, and Raphael Murphy with the county's Office of Grants Management says,
so much is still up in the air. The White House continues to issue new directives, new executive orders, new policy statements on almost a daily basis.
So his office has been diligent about compliance. County Councilmember Gabe Albornoz said the county will continue to hedge against any further cuts.
And we've been through crises before. We have recession, COVID, now this. We'll get through this. We just have to remain on the same page.
Kate Ryan, WTOP News.
When it comes to cutting the federal deficit, Americans generally favor spending cuts over tax hikes. In a new Gallup poll, nearly half of adults say Congress should reduce the deficit either mostly or only by cutting spending. 17% favor relying mostly or only on tax increases. Another 27% say they prefer an equal mix of spending cuts and tax hikes. At the same time, a majority of Americans support increasing income tax rates for upper income earners and increasing tax revenues by making major changes to the federal tax code. 89% of Republicans support increasing tax revenues by imposing tariffs. That polling took place in early to mid-September.
BWI Marshall is now among the airports declining to show a video featuring Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem. In it, she blames Democrats for the government shutdown. The airport's legal team says it's reviewing the issue. Other airports across the country had already declined to show the video over concerns it violates internal policies or federal law. NBC4 reports Dulles and Reagan National Airports are among those also not showing the video.
Coming up on WTOP.
Sports-branded alcohol sales increase, and teams are taking notice. I'm Dan Ronan.